It's 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. You just finished your 9 to 5. You're exhausted. But instead of going home, you open the Uber app and start driving. 3 hours later, you've completed 6 rides. The app says you earned $78. You feel productive, you're hustling, you're getting ahead. But let me ask you something. How much did you actually make? That $78? Let's subtract the gas you burned, about $15. Now subtract the wear on your car. That's roughly $20 in depreciation. Subtract the 15% self-employment tax you'll owe. That's another $12. You're down to $31. Divide that by the 3 hours you worked, plus the 30 minutes driving to the busy area, plus the 20 minutes waiting between rides, plus the 15 minutes getting your car ready. Your real hourly rate? About $7.50. Below minimum wage in most states. You worked until midnight, exhausted yourself, put miles on your car, and earned less than a teenager at McDonald's. Welcome to the hustle trap. Here's what the gig economy sold you. Be your own boss. Work whenever you want. Unlimited earning potential. Sounds amazing, right? Freedom, flexibility, control. But here's what they didn't tell you. You're not an entrepreneur. You're an employee who pays for their own equipment, benefits, and taxes, while the company keeps most of the profit. Uber's business model is simple. They found a way to have a taxi company without owning any cars. DoorDash's business model, a delivery service without paying for vehicles or gas. The genius of the gig economy is that they shifted all the costs and risks onto you. You provide the car. You pay for gas. You pay for insurance. You pay for maintenance. You handle the taxes. You take the risk of accidents. You have no job security. You get no benefits. And in exchange, you get flexibility. But here's the math nobody does. The average Uber driver in America grosses about $25 per hour before expenses. Sounds decent. But after gas, depreciation, maintenance, insurance, and taxes, studies show the real hourly wage drops to $8 to $10 per hour. And that doesn't count the time spent waiting for rides, driving to pickup locations, or cleaning your car. When researchers at MIT calculated the true hourly wage for Uber and Lyft drivers, accounting for all expenses, they found that 30% of drivers are actually losing money. Not making little money. Losing money. They're paying for the privilege of driving strangers around. That's not a side hustle. That's a hobby that costs you money. My name is Man, and I spend way too much time exposing the financial traps that keep people working harder while getting nowhere. If you've ever driven for Uber, delivered for DoorDash, or grinded a side hustle thinking it would get you ahead, this video is for you. Hit subscribe because next week we're covering the degree trap. Why your college diploma might be your biggest liability. Let's break down every hidden cost of gig work that the apps conveniently forget to mention. Cost number 1. Vehicle depreciation. This is the big one nobody calculates. The IRS standard mileage rate is 67 cents per mile. That's their estimate of what it costs to drive, including depreciation, gas, maintenance, and insurance. If you drive 100 miles doing Uber, your car lost roughly $67 in value. Most Uber drivers put 20,000 to 30,000 extra miles on their car per year. That's $13,000 to $20,000 in vehicle costs annually. Your car is literally falling apart to make Uber money. Cost number 2. Gas. Obviously, you pay for gas. But how much? Average Uber driver, 20,000 miles per year for rideshare. Average fuel economy, 25 miles per gallon. Gas cost, roughly $3.50 per gallon. That's $2,800 per year in gas alone, just for your side hustle. Cost number 3. Maintenance. More miles means more oil changes, more tire replacements, more brake jobs, more everything. Budget an extra $1,500 to $2,000 per year in maintenance for heavy gig driving. Cost number 4. Insurance. Here's something most drivers don't know. Your regular car insurance doesn't cover you while doing rideshare. You need special rideshare insurance. That's an extra $50 to $100 per month. And if you get in an accident while driving Uber without proper insurance, your claim gets denied. You're on your own. Cost number 5. Self-employment tax. As a gig worker, you're self-employed. That means you pay both halves of Social Security and Medicare. Regular employees pay 7.65%. You pay 15.3%. On $20,000 of gig income, that's an extra $1,530 in taxes you wouldn't pay at a regular job. Cost number 6. No benefits. A regular job gives you health insurance, worth $5,000 to $15,000 per year. Retirement matching, worth $2,000 to $5,000 per year. Paid time off, worth $2,000 to $4,000 per year. Unemployment insurance. Workers' compensation. Gig work gives you nothing. If you get sick, you earn 0. If you get injured on the job, you're on your own. If the app deactivates you, no unemployment. The freedom of gig work is actually just no safety net. Let's add it up. Average Uber driver works 1,000 hours per year and grosses $25,000. Subtract depreciation and mileage, $13,000. Gas, $2,800. Maintenance, $1,500. Extra insurance, $800. Self-employment tax, $1,900. Net income, $5,000. Divided by 1,000 hours equals $5 per hour. But wait, that doesn't include time driving to surge areas, time waiting for rides, time cleaning your car, time doing your taxes. Real hours worked, closer to 1,300. Real hourly wage, $3.85. You're working for less than half of minimum wage while providing your own car, gas, and insurance. So if the math is this bad, why do millions of people do it? Because of psychology. Trap number 1. The gross income illusion. The app shows you big numbers. You earned $150 today. Dopamine hit. You feel successful. But that's gross income. Your net income, what you actually keep, is half that or less. Our brains aren't wired to subtract hidden costs. We see $150 and feel rich. Trap number 2. The flexibility myth. I work when I want, but do you? To make decent money on these apps, you have to work peak hours. Friday nights, Saturday nights, rush hour. You know, the times normal people spend with family and friends. Your flexibility is actually work the worst hours or make nothing. Trap number 3. The sunk cost fallacy. I already bought the car, might as well use it. But using your car for gig work destroys it faster. You're not using an asset, you're consuming it. Every mile you drive is money out of your pocket. Trap number 4. The hustle culture. Brainwashing social media glorifies the grind. Rise and grind. Sleep is for the weak. Multiple income streams. But here's what they don't show. The exhaustion, the burnout, the relationships damaged, the health destroyed. Hustle culture benefits one group. The companies extracting your labor for minimal pay. They want you to glorify overwork. It's free marketing. Trap number 5. The something is better than nothing. Fallacy. At least I'm making something. But are you? When you account for all costs, you might be making nothing. Or losing money. And even if you make $5 per hour, is that worth your time? What else could you do with those hours? Sleep. Exercise. Learn a skill. Spend time with family. Sometimes nothing is better than something if that something is destroying your car and your health for poverty wages. Trap number 6. Comparison to zero. People compare gig income to zero. I made $200 this weekend that I wouldn't have had. But that's the wrong comparison. The right comparison is, what else could you have done with that time? If you spent 15 hours making $200 gross, that's $13 per hour before expenses. You could have worked overtime at your job, done skilled freelance work, started an actual business, invested in learning. Almost anything beats gig work when you do the real math. Now, I'm not saying all side income is bad. Some side hustles actually work. Here's when they make sense. Skill-based work, freelance writing, design, programming, consulting. You're selling skills, not time. You can increase your rate as you improve. No major equipment costs. No depreciation. A freelance designer charging $50 per hour keeps most of that money. Asset-light businesses, online courses. Digital products, content creation. You create once, sell forever. No car to destroy, no gas to buy. The economics scale in your favor, not against you. Building towards something. If your side hustle teaches skills or builds a business you can grow, the low initial pay might be worth it. Driving Uber teaches you how to drive and deal with drunk people. Building a freelance client base teaches you sales, marketing, and your craft. One has a future, one doesn't. Genuinely flexible work. Some side hustles actually are flexible. Tutoring on your schedule, consulting when you want, creating content on your terms. Not work Friday night or make nothing flexible. High hourly rate after costs. If your side hustle pays $30 plus per hour after all costs, it might be worth it, but very few do. The test. Before starting any side hustle, calculate gross hourly income. Subtract all costs, equipment, supplies, gas, depreciation, taxes. Subtract unpaid time, prep, travel, admin. What's left? If it's under $15 an hour, you're in the hustle trap. Your time is worth more than that. So what should you do instead of gig work? Option 1. Invest in skills. The hours you'd spend driving Uber, spend them learning a marketable skill. Coding, design, sales, writing, marketing. 6 months of learning can increase your primary income by $10,000 plus per year. Forever. That beats driving strangers around for poverty wages. Option 2. Negotiate your day job. Most people never negotiate. A 10% raise on a $50,000 salary is $5,000 per year. Every year. With benefits. Without destroying your car. One successful negotiation beats years of side hustling. Option 3. Reduce expenses. Here's a radical idea. Instead of earning more, spend less. Cutting $300 per month in expenses is equivalent to earning $400 per month pre-tax. And it takes 0 extra hours. The best side hustle is often eliminating waste. Option 4. Start a real business. If you want to hustle, hustle smart. Build something that can grow. Something that doesn't trade your time for minimum wage. An actual business, not just renting yourself out through an app. Option 5. Rest. This is the most radical option. What if you didn't need a side hustle? What if you lived within your means and actually relaxed? Rest isn't laziness. It's recovery. It's health. It's relationships. The cult of hustle has convinced us that rest is failure. But burning out while making $5 per hour? That's the real failure. Here's what I want you to remember. The gig economy profits from your desperation and your bad math. They show you big gross numbers while hiding the costs that eat your income. They sell you freedom, while trapping you in a cycle of low-wage work with no benefits and no future. Before you spend another hour driving for Uber or delivering for DoorDash, calculate your real hourly wage. Include every cost. If it's below $15 per hour, you're working for poverty wages while destroying your car. Your time is worth more than that. If this video changed how you think about side hustles, share it with someone who's grinding themselves broke. Next week, the degree trap. Why your college diploma might be your biggest financial mistake. I'm Man. Thanks for watching.